Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Fleur and today in this Pilates session we're going to work a little bit into the shoulders, into balances and into releasing our neck. So you don't need anything other than a nice mat. So when we're here, let's come standing. Start with bringing your feet just hip width apart. And a good way to know where your hip width is if you bring your heels and your toes together. So just bring your heels and your toes together, and you might feel that that's a little bit of a balancing challenge because sort of like one foot and then the other foot presses down to the floor. So try to lengthen a little bit up through the crown of the head, and then just turn your toes out once to the side so that the toes are facing sideways, and then turn the heels out. And if you look down, let the feet, so the heels, be just behind your sit bones, and don't adjust. So if you adjust, you'll like change it again. So just toes turning out once and then heels turning out once. And it might feel a little bit strange. It might feel like your lower back is opening a bit, which is actually what we want. So releasing energy down to the floor. And we're just going to start with just breathing. So breathing nice and calmly, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Let the arms rest by the side. And then just lift your toes. And put your weight a little bit into your heels. And then bring the toes back down. And then again, lift your toes up. And bring the toes back down. And see what happens when you lift the toes up, breathe out. The weight is a little bit in the heels. And now your core starts to engage. And then bring the toes back down. And do that again. Lift the toes up, breathe out. And bring the toes back down, come back to center, and one more time, lift the toes up, feel that you're engaging a little bit through the core, and then bring the toes down, and then from here just starting to roll the shoulders, lift them up towards your ears, back and down, and again roll the shoulders forward, lift them up, back and down, two more, roll the shoulders forward, lift them up, back and down. Last roll, roll the shoulders forward, lift them up, back and down. Go the other way around, roll them back, squeeze them together, lift them up, forward and down. Three more. Back, up and forward and down and back. Up, forward and down. Last one, roll them back, up and forward and down. Let's move into our head. So just starting to look towards your left or right. Really look at something. Notice if the shoulder wants to come forward, and then bring the head back to center. And then other way. And again, look to the side and come back to center. One more time, look to one side and back to center. Notice when you're trying to look a little further and straining your neck muscles, you don't want to do that. You just want to look to the side and come back to center, and then look up, keep the mouth open, and then come back to center, and then look down. And come back to center. Do it nice and slowly so you don't get dizzy. And again, up, and come back to center, and down, and back to center. Now we're going to do a little half turn. So we're going to draw our ear to one shoulder, and then we're going to roll the chin to chest, and then roll over to the other side, nice and slowly. And then again, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, and then over to the other side. Try and experience that little stretch on the side of the neck, but also not straining. Do it very gently. And again, roll the chin down towards the chest, and to the other side. And then roll the chin to chest one more time, and then bring the head back up, and then look up towards the ceiling, and then just roll one ear to the shoulder, and then look back up to the ceiling, keep your mouth open, and roll to the other shoulder. So you're doing a half circle over the back of the head, and looking up, and to one ear, and one more time over the back, and to the other ear, and then bring the head back, and then bring the head back to center. Well done. And then from here, decided to make little circles with the nose. So as if you're drawing a nose circle in front of you. And just imagine that skull just balancing on the top of your spine. And then you can make the circles maybe a little bit bigger if that feels comfortable. So that you're doing a full circle. If that doesn't feel comfortable, keep the circle smaller. And try to imagine that the ball of your head is just rolling in one direction and then slowly in the other way. Just 2 or 3. You can start quite small. You just imagine that circle you're drawing with your nose. And that's it. And then drawing the chin to chest and coming back up to standing. Good. From here, bringing the fingertips onto your shoulders. We're going to make arm circles. So circling the elbows forward, lift them up, and then roll them back and down. And again, lift them up and roll them back and down. 2 more, lift the shoulders and roll them back and down. Last one, lift the elbows up and roll them back and down. Change direction. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, then reach the elbows up high. So if you want to touch the ceiling, and then you bring them forward as if the elbows want to touch, and bring them down. And then squeeze the shoulders back, lift the elbows high, keep drawing the belly slightly in, bring them forward and down. Inhaling, reach them up. Feel you raise up through the sides of your ribs and bring them forward and down. And then bring the shoulders back. Fingertips on your shoulders only. That's it. And then shoulders forward and down. Release the arms out to the side. And we're going to take little bends into the knees and then breathe in as if you want to lift up high. And then exhale. Breathe out, bring the arms back down. And then again, bend your knees. Hips go back, lift up the arms high. And exhale, palms down. Armpits want to rise up. Fingers reach down. 2 more. Bend your knees. Arms reach up. Push into the feet, lift the arms up. Draw the belly in, exhaling. Breathe out through the mouth. And last one, bend your knees, arms reach up. Nice and high. And then bring the arms down again. Keep them by the side. And then bend your knees, go sideways. Hips go back. And arms go slightly back. And we're just going to move the arms forward and back. Push the palms backwards. And then reaching the arms forward. Keep the weight slightly in your heels and back. And again, arms reach forward. And inhaling back. And exhale, palms reach forward. Feel how the core engages. Arms reach back, inhales, nice and long through the neck. Arms reach forward, exhaling. And inhaling, arms reach back, good. And then start to push the palms backwards, tiny little pulses. Squeeze the arms back, Audrey, backwards, back, back, back. That's it, good. Squeezing the arms into your armpits, little pulses. Last 4, keep the chin drawn into the chest a little. 3, 2, and 1. And then reach the arms nice and high up, inhaling, and bring the arms out to the side. Arms out to the side, and then turn one palm up and the other palm down. And we're going to rotate the arms. Rotate the arms. So when one thumb turns downwards, the other turns up. That's it. Rotating the arms. I remember doing this one with my mother. Once she did not like this one. She's like, oh. So it does get a little warm in between the shoulders. So keep going for a little while. One arm up, one arm down. As if you're wringing out a towel, being your arms. So wring them out. Do another 8, one arm forward, one arm down. 7, 6, 5. Keep reaching to the sides. 3, 2, and 1. Out, and then slowly release the arms back down. And give them a little gentle shake, sideways, backwards and forward. Swinging the arms, be mindful of any obstacles in the way. The furniture, just hit my wardrobe. Good. That's it. Little circles, little swings here. Okay. And then bring the arms again by your side. And bring the feet a little bit wider. We're going to stretch out from the side. So from here, with the toes turned outward this time, we're just going to start to lift up one heel and turn to one side. And then bring the heel down, and then lift up the other heel, and bring the heel down. And from here, we're going to start moving with the arms as if you're throwing something to the side. And then you can make the movement a little bit more rigorous, and really throwing something away. So you feel that stretch from the heel to the side of your hand. That's it. Hold it there for a moment just to feel that little stretch. So lengthening from the foot to the hand. Reaching out to the side. The head just follows the movement. Make sure that your knees are soft, so you're not pushing into the knee joint. You're just lengthening from the foot to the hand. Let's do 4 more. That's it. It can be quite elegant, or you can just throw something away that you don't like. 2. And last one. And then come back to center. Bring the arms back down. And we're going to come into some nice squats again. So from here, bend your knees slightly, bring the hips back, bring the hands onto your hips. Hold it here for a moment again, feeling your glutes, feeling your hips push back into space, and then straighten back up. And let's do that again. Hips going back, navel draws in, and exhale, push the floor away and stand back up. Keep going nice and long through the spine, belly in, and push the floor away to stand back up. And 2 more, hips go back, and push the floor away, feeling the glutes engage, hips go back, navel in, and push the floor away. Last one, hips go back, hold it here. Nice and long through the spine. And then from here we're going to do little taps. So we're going to step out with one leg and step back in. Come back to center and step to the center. Out with the other leg and step back in. Step to center. So it's a little bit like a weird gnome dance, I call this. You can sometimes do this with an elastic band, then it really goes into the glutes. Just like a little gentle dance, side to side. Good. Do a few more, side to side. Good. That's it. And then coming back to center, keep your glute squat. And then from here, we're just going to reach our arms forward and hold it for a moment. Hold it here and breathe. Feeling the energy in the legs and the arms. Keep the shoulders down, so roll the shoulders down, away from the yes, that's it. And standing back up, well done. And bring your hands onto your hips. You know what? This is really funny. I've put the soup on downstairs and I can smell it, so it's burning. I just have to run downstairs and just turn the soup off. 1 sec. I'll be like 30 seconds. Ha! It's back. I'm back. I wanted to turn it off before, but I just smelled it as dal, so I'm making dal. Okay, apologies. So we're back in the room. So over here, we're going to come into some gentle balances. Apologies for this. Hands onto your hips. Happens, right? When you're not in the cooking mindset and you're thinking, oh, I'm doing the class now. Just turn it on and then all ready for lunch. So we're going to come to the elephant. The elephant you can do with the hands onto your hips, or you can have the hands just gently behind your head, so one hand behind the other. The movement looks like this, so this is a bit like elephant ears, that's why it's called the elephant. So you're going to reach your hips back, keep the belly engaged, so you don't want to round the upper back. You want to keep nice and long from the tailbone to the head. And as if you're hinging from your hips, and then exhaling, you're going to come back up. You might not go very far if your hamstrings feel quite tight. It's absolutely fine to maybe just go a little bit and then come back up. So it's more about you feeling tailbone moves away from you and then the glutes pull you back up. Is this okay for you, Ruth? Bring halfway, yeah? Good. And then come back up. Don't go too low, but just so that you feel you lengthen through the crown, draw the belly in, and then push yourself back up. That's it. Do 3 more. Reaching the crown of the head forward, hips back, and coming back up. And 2 more. Elbows out to the side if they're by your head. And 1 more. And then coming back up to standing. Good. Bring the hands again onto the crown of the head. Stand nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. That's it. And then from here, just breathing in. Lean over to one side. Try to activate your glutes a bit. And then exhale. Come back up. Inhaling, other side. Keep the elbows up and the shoulders away from the ear so they don't pull up. And exhaling, coming back to center. So drawing your shoulder blades down towards your hips. And exhale back up. And again, breathing in. Feel that you're lengthening out through that side. Exhale, the muscles pull you back up. 1 more round. Inhaling. Shoulder blades draw down. Squeeze your glutes a bit. Exhaling, coming up. Last one. Inhaling up to the side. And exhaling back up. Well done. Release the arms down. We're going to come to just a little release for our chest. So bring the hands just onto your sternum, taking a breath in. On your exhale, just soften your tailbone backwards, as if you're starting to hunch, as if you're drawing the chest inwards. And then drawing the chest back up, as if you're pushing your hands forward and apart. And exhaling, chest draws inwards. Feels a bit weird. And then pushing forward the chest, as if you want to shine your light forward. And 2 more. Draw the chest in. And then open the chest forward. Notice what happens in the body. And again, breathing out. Chest goes in. And then push the chest forward. Well done. And then releasing the arms by the side. And we're going to do a half roll inward. So all we're going to do is we're going to draw the chin to the chest and keep the tailbone tucked. So we're going to stretch out to the back and then roll yourself a little bit back up. So when your tailbone faces down a little bit, you feel that the stretch is happening here. Keep activating through the legs, pushing down to the heels, and then rolling yourself back up. Do it 2 more times, rolling forward, belly draws in, and coming back up. That's it. And 1 more, chin to chest, rolling down. If you like to continue, you can then bend your knees and roll yourself down to the floor so that you come into a tabletop position. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Engage your core and just find your neutral position here with a slight bend in your lower back. Your crown of the head nice and long away from you. Good. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, start to round through the spine, looking towards your belly button. Inhaling, opening the chest. And exhaling to round through the spine. Tailbone draws down, push the hands into the floor. And 1 more, inhaling, open the chest. And exhale, round through the spine. And then come back to center. And then imagine you want to look over your right shoulder, and your right shoulder and your right hip have an elastic band, so they shorten. So you're looking towards the right hip wants to come to the right shoulder, and then come back to center. And then other side, keep the arms nice and straight. Left elbow wants to come to the left hip. And come back to center. Now try to not let the hips sway side to side, so the hips stay exactly where they are. You're just shortening the distance from the right elbow to the right shoulder. That's it, Ruth. Yes. Do 1 more round. Inhaling And exhale. Here's the side, should feel like you're squashing your side a little bit. Compressing there and opening out through the other side. And then coming back to center. Good. And then from here, pressing into your left hand, reach your right arm out to the side and lift the arm off the floor. See if you can hold it there. Draw your navel in and then start small little circles with your right arm. Nice and small little circles. Pressing into your left hand. Make sure if you're hypermobile you're not pushing into your joints, so make sure the elbow is pointing outwards. So you have to activate the arm and then change direction with your hand. Keep drawing in through the navel. Good. And then take a little lift in, reach the right arm up to the sky. And then slide the arms through the gap. Let the head be soft. Do 2 more. Inhale, reach the arm up. And slide the arms through the gap. And 1 more. Inhale, reach the arm up. Keep the neck long. And slide the arms through the gap. And then rest your right cheek on the mat. And bring your left arm forward. Or you can keep it where it is and just lean a little bit into the shoulder. If you need to bring the hips a little bit back, you can do that as well. Just like a gentle twist. Good. You can also raise up your left arm if you find the balance there. That feels okay. And let's come and release. Bring the left hand down to the floor. Push the floor away and come back to your tabletop position. Let's do the other side. Left arm out to the side, I go slightly sideways. Bring the left arm out. Notice that you're connecting to the core. And then start little circles. Keep looking down to the mat. Only about as big as a tennis ball. And then change direction, go the other way around. Try to pull your belly a little bit up towards the spine. And then 3 times again, left arm reaches up and left arm reaches through the gap. And again, left arm reaches up and left arm reaches through the gap. Breathing out. And 1 more, left arm reaches up and left arm reaches through the gap, and then release your head to the floor. And your right hand can be where it is, or you can reach the arm forward, or you can reach the arm up. See what feels good or interesting. You feel a little stretch in the back of the shoulder. And then release the hand down. Push the floor away, come back to your tabletop position. And from here we're going to go into little hip circles, so moving your hips in a few directions. You're also stretching a bit through the wrists. So bring the weight a little bit into the hands as you come forward. Small circles into the hips and the wrists. And then changing direction, go the other way around. Good. And then coming back to neutral. I'm going to go a little bit into our glutes again. So pressing into your hands, and then see if you can lift your right knee off the ground and just bring the right knee out to the side and bring it back down. Go sideways. So knee out to the side and back down. Now try to avoid that your left hip is pushing to the left side. I'm going to demonstrate badly here because that doesn't really go into our target there. We want to keep the hips exactly where they are, and then you lift the knee. So you might not be able to lift it very high, which is fine. Let's do a few more. So lifting up, exhaling to the side, inhaling, bring it back up. Exhaling to the side, inhaling back up, down, and out to the side. And let's change sides. Left leg, starting again, nice and slowly. Left leg comes out to the side. Don't push the right hip to the side. Okay, left and right one today, so be careful what I say. Keep going. Do a few more out to the side and back in. One more out to the side and back in. Well done. And then again, rotate the hips a little bit in circular motion. And in the other direction. And I want to do something with you which I always am very excited about, no one else is. You're going to tuck your toes, tuck the toes, and push the toes into the floor. This is called toe stretch. And the toes are usually in shoes. We're doing lots of shoe work unless we walk barefoot at home, so they might be a little bit stiff. If that's the case, just keep the hands here and just bring the weight gently back with your hips. If you're feeling a little bit more moving space there, you can see if you can walk your hands back towards your knees. And then again, just try to lift the hips and then push the hips back so you're also stretching your toes. If this is quite comfortable for you, comfortable-ish, you can maybe bring your hands onto your thighs and see if you can sit back. So this is an agony, don't go there yet, so just starting with a position that is doable for you. So just sitting on your toes a little bit, try and breathe in just for a few breaths. A nice toe stretch. Our feet are very important. We walk on them every day. So a nice toe stretch can sometimes change the way we stand or the way we feel balance in our body. So if you're down here, just give yourself a little moment to now release. Everyone come down. So bring the hands again forward underneath your shoulders and then lift your feet a little bit. You can either roll the feet or give the feet a little squeeze, or you can topple the feet, topple on the floor. That's it, good. And this is another one that is also really quite important. So the front of our shins are never really stretched, and if the front of the shins become quite stiff, we can't really move, we don't walk that well anymore. So, you know, we roll, if this is my foot, we roll and push the floor away. So we do need to do the opposite movements as well. So we're going to bring the hands next to our hips if that's available for you. And see if you can just hold it here and see if you can bring the hands towards the side of your hips. There we go. And then see if you can just lean back with your chest a little bit. That's it. Until you maybe feel a stretch in the front of the shins. If not, see if you can lift your knees a little bit. That's it. Lift the knees. Okay. Lifting the knees. You can maybe even hold it there for a little knee stretch. There we go. See where your edge is. That's it. Sometimes even sitting on the knees can be quite a stretch. Okay, and then coming back, well done, and coming back to our tabletop position. And then from here, sit down on one side, and then bring your legs out in front of you. Left hand up. Look, top. Okay, legs out in front of you. Give the legs a little shake. Good. And point the toes. You can have the hands by the side as well, and then flex the feet. And then point the toes and flex the feet. Two more. Point the toes and flex the feet, sitting nice and tall, and point the toes and flex, and then again draw the toes out to the side and bring them back in together. Draw them out to the side and back in, out to the side, back in, and out to the side and back in, and then just give them a little leg circle in one direction again, and then in the other direction. Good. Okay. And then flex your feet, bring your arms forward. If this is uncomfortable for you, see if you want to sit on something a little bit higher, but it looks okay. Good. Breathing in, and on your exhale, draw your belly button in and lengthen your arms forward. Keep the chin not too close to the chest, but just not looking forward, so you don't strain your neck. So you want to reach through the crown of your head, and then inhaling, coming back up. And again, exhaling, reaching forward nice and long, arms forward, and coming back up. See if you want to turn the toes up towards the ceiling. And again, reaching forward, so you have to lengthen through the lower back, and inhaling, coming back up. Two more, exhaling, reach forward, try to reach the arms next to your ears, Stretch from the hips to the little fingers, coming back up. And last one, reaching forward. Belly draws in and coming back up. Well done. And then bend your knees, bring the feet onto the mat. Make sure you have a bit of space behind you. And then hold your shins with your hands, half roll backs. So from here, keep your feet as far as possible connected to the floor so they don't come off. Now take a breath in and then slowly roll yourself halfway down. Feel where you engage the core and then rolling yourself back up. Good. And you can also let go of the hands if that's doable for you. Then rolling yourself back down, tucking the tailbone under and coming back up. Now let's use a breath, inhaling on your exhale, rolling slowly down, belly draws in, shoulders stay long, and coming back up. And one more, exhaling, rolling yourself back, and then hold it here and breathe. So feeling the engagement in the core. 2 more breaths. That's it, keep looking forward. I'm demonstrating by hand because I'm looking to the side, seeing what you're doing. And then coming back up. Well done, good. Give your knees a little shake out to the side. And then from here we're going to add some arms. So breathing in, arms forward, and then roll yourself back down. Lift up your right arm up, and then bring the right arm back down. Other side, lift up your left arm, and bring the left arm back down. Rolling yourself back up, inhaling, and exhale, rolling yourself back down. Same. Reach up the right arm, exhaling, inhale, bring the right arm down, exhaling, left arm up, inhaling, arm down, and then coming back up. And let's try and do either an next version of this, or we can do the same again, so twice around. Otherwise, lean back, reach one arm up, and inhaling, coming up. And then again, exhaling, lean back, and inhaling, coming back up. If this is difficult, you can do the one we just did before. One more time. And coming back up. And exhaling, lean back, arm up. And you can see my belly shake just now. Good. Now we're going to add the legs. So from here, arms forward, breathe in and exhale, lean slightly back. And we're going to start tapping our feet out and back in. And come back up. Or you can keep going, rolling yourself back. And other side, tap the feet out, back in, and come back up. 2 more. If you're feeling strong, you can just stay down and tap the feet out and back in. And then the other foot starts, tap the feet out, back in, and tap the feet out, back in, and tap the feet out, and back in. Good. And then coming back up. Ooh, how's our core feeling? All right? Oh, good. Well done. We're going to add on 1 more to this so that we're really nice and strong. So we're going to reach our arms up and then lean back, half roll back, and we're going to lift up one leg and bring the foot back down. Lift up the other leg and bring it back down. Let me see. Good. Come back up. Good. And the last step, you've done really well, keep going. We're going to see if we can, either you can just keep with the legs, or you can lift up one arm, one leg, opposite arm to opposite leg, opposite arm to opposite leg, and then give yourself a little break, come back up. And then again, rolling down. Opposite arm to opposite leg. Inhale. Opposite arm to opposite leg. Oh, that's it. You can keep going. Let's do another round. Good. Well done. Take a little break in between if you need to. Always good to a little break. Well done. And then come back up. Whee! Good work. And then stretch your legs out in front of you and give your legs a little shake. Now that we've made this nice and strong, we're going to come rolling all the way down to the floor. So taking a breath in, activate your legs. So squeeze your legs together, activate the arms reaching forward, draw your belly in and see if you can roll yourself all the way down to the floor. If this is challenging, just hold behind your thighs and roll yourself slowly down with the help of your hands. Good. Now that you're on the floor, that's sun on my face. Okay, that's better. Step your feet in, knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to try and combine the two movements into crisscross. So we're going to bring the hands behind the head, not interlacing, just having the hands lightly behind your head, elbows out to the side, and then bring up your right leg, and then bring up your left leg. Lift your shoulder blades off the floor, and we're going to start to turn left elbow towards the right knee, and change right elbow towards the left knee. Keep going in your own time. Changing the legs and exhaling. Try to do 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Well done. Come back to center. Bring the knees into your chest and give yourself a little hug. So your core should feel nice and strong now. Have a little moment of rolling side to side. And then step your feet back down. And come into glute bridges, arms by your side, shoulders on the floor. Take a breath in. And then lengthen your tailbone away from you and roll your hips up to the ceiling. Knees are facing forward and away. Draw your glutes slightly in. Hold it here. Feeling your back strong. And then rolling yourself back down on your next exhale. Tilting your tailbone so that the lower back touches the floor, and then finding the neutral position with that little gap underneath your back. Breathing in here and exhaling. Tilt the tailbone so that you're sliding your hips back up to the ceiling. Breathing in and exhaling, slowly rolling down upper, middle and lower back. And 2 more rounds in your own time. Breathing in and exhale, pushing something heavy up with your hips. And then let the hips be light as they're on the top. And slowly rolling down again on your exhale. Keeping that resistance with the feet pressing down. And 1 more time, breathing in, press into your feet, let the hips float upwards. Breathing in here. And slowly rolling back down. And then step your feet a little bit wider so they're as wide as your mat. And just let your knees roll to one side and then to the other side. So keeping the feet quite wide, knees to one side and to the other side. And 1 more time. And then bring the knees back up to the ceiling, turn face into the ceiling and then turn over to one side. So you're lying on your side. And then reach your right arm away from you. Bring your left hand, or whatever arm you're lying on. Okay. Lift your waist a little bit and then lengthen your legs away from you. Sometimes it might feel a little bit uncomfortable on the hips, so if that's the case, then please place a cushion underneath there. And squeeze the legs together. And with the support of your arms, you can lift both your legs up and away from the floor. Good. And lower them down again. And again, lift them up and away from the floor. And lower them down. 2 more. Lift them up and away from the floor. And inhale to lower. Last one. Lift them up and then keep them there. And see if you can just kick your heels together. Little kicks of the heels. Little kicks together. Good. That's it. And then holding it here and just lift your top leg. Lift it. And bring it back down, but keep the bottom leg off the floor. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. 1 more, exhale to lift, inhaling to lower. Good, and then bend both your knees. Bring them in a little bit so that your heels are in line with your hips. And then straighten out your top leg again. And we'll start circling the leg slightly diagonally in front of you. Circling in one direction. Good. 2 more circles this way. and then change direction, lift the leg up and bring the leg forward, lift the leg up and bring it forward, lift it, forward, and one more, lift it, and forward, bending the knee in front of your chest and straighten out the bottom leg. So for our adductors, so inner legs, and then lift up the bottom leg and start little pulsations, pulsing up for another 5, 6, 7, 8, and then hold it here and then start making small circles again. 4 in one direction, 3 and 4, other way round, 1, 2, keep the leg straight, please, don't bend it, 3, that's it, and 4, good, last little pulses, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, well done, good. Whew. Inner leg nice and strong now, and then bend both knees into the chest, and you can bring your bottom arm forward. Sometimes if the head is a little bit low, make sure that you have a little maybe cushion, or you can keep the arm slightly forward, and then we're going to start circling the arm over the top, if you have space, all the way over to the back. Try and keep the arm as close to the floor as possible, and then breathing in, lift it back up and over, and bring the arm forward. Arms here, same thing. Reach the arm all the way over the top so that you're opening up through the middle of the back. Try to keep your knees on top of each other so that the top knee doesn't fall backwards. So you might want to hold the knee even, and then really circle nice and big over the top. And then do one more, reaching up and over. Open to the side and hold it there for a little moment. Stretch out through the arm a little bit, but not straining anywhere. And bring the arm back up, and then coming back to the side, straighten out your top leg, push the floor away with your top hand, and let's come for a moment onto our elbow, strengthening our elbow, pushing into the elbow. So you can stay here, knees are again bent, heels are in line with your tailbone. So obviously if this is really challenging for you to be on your shoulder, sometimes that's the case, you can just do the movement by trying to mobilize your rib cage. So exhaling to lift as if someone's pulling your rib cage up, inhaling to lower. So this could be an alternative. If you're feeling comfortable here, you can maybe bring the hand onto your hips, and then exhaling, lifting the hips up and inhaling to lower. Exhaling to lift the hips up, pushing the elbow down so your shoulder doesn't come to your ear. Shoulder blades move down the back, lifting up and lower. And let's do one more, lifting up and hold it here. And let's reach our arm up and over the head and bring the arm down. 3 more. Reach the arm up, inhale. Exhaling, bring the arm down. 2 more. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling down. And 1 more. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhaling down, well done. And then bring the hips back down. Bend both your knees and come up into an S-shaped seated position. Try to get both sit bones down to the floor. And then take a little stretch here again. A little wave through the arms. And then to the other side. And one more time. Over to one side. So I'm getting nice and long in the sides. And over to the other side. Good. And then from here, bring the hands forward to the floor. Come back to a tabletop position, and then come onto your knees so that we are in a neutral position. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten the other side. Doing the other side in a moment. But just feeling how this side feels now. And then bring the arms out to the side, shoulders rolling down. And then take an inhale and turn towards one side, the right side. Try not to avoid that your arms are suddenly in an L shape, so you want to keep them out to the side. And exhale, bring them back to center. And then inhale to the other side. And exhale back to center. Relax your shoulders down, keep your neck nice and long. That's it, Audrey. Inhaling to the side. Don't let the hips come forward, so you're not twisting from the hips. Pelvis is facing forward. And to center. And inhaling, other side. And exhale back to center. Good. And then release the arms down and you're coming to the other side. So bring yourself again on the floor, lying down with your arm nice and long. Both legs straight. One hand in front of your chest. Point your toes, straighten your legs. And then again, lifting up and lowering. And lifting up. When you lift, don't let the neck muscles help you, so don't pull the shoulders to your ear. And lower. 2 more. Lifting up. And lower. And lifting up and hold. Little movements with the heels. Kick the heels together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. That's it. Tick, 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 tick. Good. And then hold it there. Just lift the top leg 4 times. Lift. And lower. And lift. And inhale, lower. Exhaling. And lower. And one more. Lift. Squeeze it up. And lower. And then bending your knees. And done. Just a little bit so that the heels are in line with your hips, with your tailbone. And then lengthen your top leg away, bring it a little bit forward, and starting those circles again. 4 times in one direction. Press down with your bottom leg. 3 and 4. Change direction. 1. Press down that bottom leg. 2 and 3 and 4. Bend the knee in front of you, knee in height of your hip. Lower leg lengthens up, hold it up, and let's pulse. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little circles again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Other way around. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Last little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Well done. Good. What came next? Circles. Bending both knees so the knees are in line with your hips, and then bringing either your arm forward slightly, or you can bring the arm forward if you have maybe a pillow underneath your head. My block's too far away, I'm not going to use that now. And then bring the arm in front of you, keep lifting the waist down a little bit, and then inhale, reach your arms up and over the head, and over the arm to the side. You can also hold your knee with your hand, and inhaling and reaching the arm as low as you can to the floor, and bring the arm forward again. And again, inhaling, breathing in, open, so in half circle, out to the side, and nice and smooth, inhaling, arm reaches back up and over. You might feel that stretch in the back, that little twisting rotation. You might feel it in the shoulder or the chest. So enjoy that sensation, don't make it a strain. One more time, arm out to the side, and then you can hold it there where it feels like you're accessing your stretches. Send deep breath there, so feeling that space open and release. And then coming back, arm reaches up over the head, and then pressing the floor away, lengthening your top leg away, coming back up to the seated position, back into your mermaid, and then from here, arms again stretch lightly to the side, and over to the other side, and one more round to the side. Good, that's it. And to the other side. And coming back up. And from here, bring the hands in front of you. Bring your knees down. I'm just going to work a little bit into your arms. So that's time? Yes, a little bit. So a little bit into your arms. You're going to bring your hips slightly forward. So your chest is over your wrist. And then bend your knees so you're rolling on the top of the knees. Draw the belly button in so you should feel this engaged. What we want to avoid is arching your back. So you don't want to pull the belly down. So tailbone is slightly tucked or in a neutral position for your spine. And then just start to do a little press up. So if you can, bend your elbows back so your neck stays nice and long. And then pushing the floor away. Good, that's it. Chest forward and then pushing the floor away. Think of something that you want to get rid of and you're pushing it away when you exhale. Don't go too low with your head. So also lengthen your head a little bit up. So don't let the head drop down. Don't drop the head. So don't do this. This sometimes happens. You want to keep imagine the floor is stinky, I always say. So you don't like the floor stinking, so you just keep the nose away from the floor. That's it. Just bend your elbows a bit. Not the head, not the head. Don't let the head drop. One or two more, just pushing the floor away. Elbows bend. And then coming back up. And then bring your hips back. And keep the arms forward and stretch out through the arms. Hips are back, arms are forward. Forward can rest on the floor. Good. And then look forward and you can bend the elbows onto the floor. Move them forward and then tuck your toes. Push the knees back and come rolling onto your back. There we go. And then from here, bringing your hands right underneath your shoulders with your elbows pointing backwards. Wriggle your hips a little so the toes are on the floor. And from here, anchor through your lower ribs. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Keep your neck long. And just roll your shoulder blades down the back. And lift your chest a little. And then coming back down. You can also start lifting the head from the floor, then rolling your shoulders back, then lifting the chest a little. Keep the hands light on the floor so you're not using the hamstrings or the arm strings just yet. You want to focus first on rolling your shoulders back, anchoring through the lower ribs, the lowest ribs, and feeling your back muscles engage. Do one more. And slowly coming down on the exhale. Now we're going to add to this. So now we're going to start peeling off the chest and then pressing a little bit into the hands so we come up a little bit higher. And then rolling ourselves back down. You should feel this in the arms as well. So in your triceps, because when the elbows point back and down and the shoulder blades roll down, your arms are working quite strongly to help you come up. Make sure that your shoulders don't come up towards your ears. So not lifting your elbows and pulling the elbows up to the ears and shoulders up to the ears. So you want to keep shoulder blades down and then press a little bit into the hands. Do one or two more. Pull the elbows back. That's it. Good. Nice. That's it already. And last one. And then rolling back down. Good. Well done. And then relax the head from here. Bring the elbows out to the side. And then bend your knees and give the knees again a little shake side to side. And then release the legs down. And then bring the arms by the side with the elbows in height of your shoulders. And we're going to take a breath in. Lift up the elbows off the floor and the chest, and then exhale, squeezing the hands back towards your hips. Breathing in, bring the arms back out to the side, and then lie back down. And again, breathing in, lift your elbows like robot arms out to the side, and then squeeze the hands back on your exhale towards your hips. Inhale, bring the arms out to the side, and exhale, lying back down. Do two more. In your own time, elbows lift, keep your neck nice and long, exhale, arms to the side, reaching the back, inhaling out, and lowering back down. And last one, inhaling to lift, exhale, squeeze the arms back, inhaling out to the side, and back down, good. And then reaching your arms forward, and then look towards the front, and lift up your arms and legs, and start a little swimming motion. So pointing the toes, and just kicking arms and legs either side of the body. Little movements, squeeze and kick. Keep going. Last few moments. And then release down and relax the whole body. Maybe shake up the hips a little bit. Take a deep breath in. And exhaling, sighing it out. And we're nearly ready. So from here, bring the hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under, and then lift the chest up, push the floor away, draw the belly in and draw the hips backwards. And then push the toes into the floor, and you can tuck the toes, draw the heels into the floor and move your hands towards your legs. If that doesn't work for you, you can also just bend your knees as if you're sitting in a chair. You can also fold forward. I know that's not for everyone, so just making sure you're okay here. And then rolling yourself slowly up to standing, pressing the feet into the floor. Coming back to center. We'll do a little hamstring stretch from here. Just stepping your right foot back, a little step. And then bring your hands onto your right thigh. Bring the hips back and lift up your left heel. Keep your chest open so you're not rounding through the spine, and keep that nice openness here. Hands on your thigh. You can then from the hip joint give a little wave with your foot if you like. So not from the foot, just as if someone's turning your thigh from your hip. And step forward. And let's do the other side. Step your left leg back. And then bend your hips back. Hands onto your thigh, turn your toes up so you find that little hamstring stretch, and again, little harlequin wave with the foot. Finding that hamstring stretch. Put your hands on your thigh, that's it, yes. Good. And then coming back to the center. Good. And then just a little stretch for the front of your thigh, so you might want to hold on to something. Maybe balance. Just maybe chair or the wall, and then turn your foot out to the side, bend the knee, and grab hold of your foot, the hoops behind you. You might need a balance, you might not. Hand can be in your hip, and then draw the knees together and tap the tailbone down, and pull your foot towards your hip. Find that stretch in the front of the thigh. And then release the leg, and let's do the other side. Bring the foot out to the side, and then bend the knee so that you can grab the foot. Oops, and wobble, link. And then bring the knees together and pull the foot towards your hip, and draw the tailbone slightly down. Keep the core engaged. Well done. And then bring the legs out to the side. And shake the leg out. Bring the feet again underneath your hips. And then take a breath in, reach your arms up. Stretch yourself nice and long. Feel how long you are. And then you can bend the knees and shake the arms out. And then again, breathe and lift the arms up. And exhaling. Bring them down one more time. Reach the arms up. And then bring your hand onto your head and bring the other arm away from you. Relax your shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades down to the floor. And then find that length from your, from your ear to the arm. And try not to pull on the head. You're just giving that head a little bit of a weight. And then look down towards your armpit. So you find another little stretch in the neck. And then release the chin to the chest. Roll the head up. And then other side. Bring the other hand onto the head and then reach the opposite arm away. And draw your ear towards the shoulder and make sure the shoulder draws down. Good. And again, just releasing the neck. Don't try to pull. You're reaching the arm away. And then drawing the chin towards the armpit to see if there's a different stretch. And then roll your chin to chest and roll the head back up. And then lift the shoulders up towards your ears and drop them. And lift the shoulders up to the ears. Really squeeze them up and drop. And one more. Lift the shoulders up to the ears and drop. Good. One more time. Breathe in. Lift your arms high. Feel how long you are. Feel how light your chest can be. Draw the belly slightly in. And then release the arms down. And then I thank you for coming to class with me. Have a wonderful day. Well done.